Help make a safer, stronger DC. Whether it's a missing person, an unsolved homicide, or keeping citizens safe, there are a number of cases that are still unsolved. Please take a moment to listen to this one.
Just 18 years old when she was killed, Saige Ballard was love and light to her family and friends. Saige was shot and killed on Thursday, June 11th, 2020, around 3:09 in the morning in the 200 block of E Street Northeast, not far from Union Station. She was back in D.C. having finished her first year of college in Georgia and was at a party spending time with friends. According to published reports, a man suffered non-life-threatening wounds in that shooting. Saige was a Capital City public charter school graduate and was active in her church, where she tutored younger children and enjoyed playing basketball. Saige is mourned by her parents and a large extended family. A scholarship foundation has been established in her honor. This case remains open and under investigation.
If you have information about this case, contact the Metropolitan Police Department, 202-727-9099, and an anonymous text number, 50411.
In June of 2020, Saige Ballard was just like any other college student. She was earning extra money, delivering takeout, and hanging out with her friends.
Very helpful. She was very giving of her time. She was very giving of herself. She accepted people for who they are.
James Ballard says after a few years at Wilson High School, Saige enrolled at Capital City Charter School, where she graduated before going on to Georgia State. On the night of June 10th, 2020, Saige attended a birthday party for a friend at an Airbnb rented out for the occasion. The night she was killed, Saige Ballard was standing here with a friend outside a house on E Street Northeast. We're not far from Union Station, when suddenly a gunman just walked up and opened fire, shooting her friend in the leg, but then police believe targeting her, shooting her multiple times. And here we are, almost 2 years later, and police have no idea why.
It does not appear that it was anybody that was a part of the party inside the residence. It appeared from the video and the evidence we have that she was shot multiple times. It appears as if she was targeted in this case.
So there is a video of the shooting, but it so far has not been helpful. A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation says an ex-boyfriend has been questioned and cleared.
I'm angry as a father. I would love to see the person who did it held accountable for murdering my daughter.
And as our interview came to a close, James Ballard said he had one more thing he wanted to add.
If you love Saige and you miss Saige and you hurt because of Saige's death and murder, I would suggest you say something.
Saige Ballard was a rising sophomore when she was killed, just 18 years old. In the district, Paul Wagner, News 4.
Before we get into these two stories that I have for y'all today, please go and smash that like and subscribe button for me so we can keep these stories coming at y'all, Mo. Without further ado, let's get to it. Our first story begins on a seemingly ordinary day in the summer of 2020 in the area around Union Station in Northeast. Saige Ballard, an 18-year-old woman, was attending a party with friends. Having recently completed her first year at Georgia State University, where she was majoring in media entrepreneurship, Saige had returned home to D.C. for a well-deserved break. In the early hours of June 11, 2020, at precisely 3:03 a.m., the unthinkable happened. The sound of those blats echoed through the 200 block of E Street, Northeast. When the officers arrived at the scene, they found Saige with multiple gunshot wounds. Despite rushing her to a nearby hospital, her injuries proved fatal. A man, also shot at the scene, survived, but Saige's life was abruptly ended. Meanwhile, in the case of Saige Ballard, the hunt for her killer continues. The reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction has increased to a possible $40,000, thanks to the additional $15,000 contributed by a family member. This unaliving has went unsolved since the incident happened back in 2020. One person was questioned, which was Saige's ex-boyfriend at the time. The streets seem to say this person may have been the rapper Lil Lo, but these details have not exactly been confirmed yet. Some say that the killing was a result of some type of beef that Lil Lo was in at the time, which became the reason of why Saige Ballard was targeted in this shooting. Whatever happened that night, I want to end this story by saying, long live Saige Ballard.
Now back to our lead story. News 4's Jackie Benson has more on the little girl hit and killed tonight in the parking lot of a D.C. gas station.
This happened broad daylight, about 4 o'clock. This is always a very, very busy intersection and extremely busy at that time of day. Investigators from the D.C. Police Department unit that investigates vehicle collisions examined the front of the Jeep that is believed to have hit the little girl. It happened just after 4 p.m. in the parking lot of the BP gas station near the intersection of Pennsylvania and Minnesota Avenues Southeast. News 4's sister station, Telemundo 44, spoke to a woman who was selling flowers nearby.
Nada, no escuchamos nada.
She said she saw the child lying on the ground. It was still daylight when the collision occurred. The little girl was rushed to a hospital by ambulance, but she did not survive her injuries.
Our hearts go out to the family of this juvenile female. If anybody was traveling in the 2500 block of Minnesota Avenue at approximately 4 p.m. and if you witness anything, please call us at 202-727-9099.
Police say security cameras at the gas station captured the fatal collision and detectives are examining the images. They say charges have not been placed against the driver at this time, but noted that is subject to change. It is unclear who was with the little girl at the time or why she was in the gas station's parking lot. It runs very close to the sidewalk at the place where she was struck. As they continue their investigation, D.C. police would like to hear from anyone who was passing through here at that time and may have seen some aspect of this. In Southeast Washington, Jackie Benson, News 4.
Fast forward to a chilly afternoon on January 30th, 2024. As a vehicle drove southbound through a parking lot at the BP gas station on the corner of Pennsylvania and Minnesota Avenue Southeast, a child named Zyina Crump darted across the parking lot while playing. Tragically, she ran into the path of a vehicle. Despite all life-saving efforts at the hospital, 5-year-old Zena succumbed to her injuries. The driver of the vehicle, who remained at the scene, is cooperating with the investigation. This was a sad story. I hope that the family somehow finds peace after a tragedy that is so heartbreaking. Long live Zyina Crump. Thank you for taking the time to tune in today. If you enjoy watching these stories, please leave some feedback in the comments. Until next time, stay dangerous, Mo.